Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Facebook Nation. Good morning to all people, all colors, all races, all languages around the world, men, women, and children. Good morning to everybody, no matter where you are, and as well as wildlife. Today is that type of day. We're out here and we're in nature. Before we start, click like, subscribe, share, and view the playlist, because in a playlist there's a lot of different topics on different subjects, just a different way of looking at things that we go through life, and a different way, different ways of that you can use tools from to formulate your own way, your own direction, and your own train of thought of mind to enrich and enlighten your life, and to allow us to become better people so that we can become better people to other people. So this is a channel where we do a lot of self-reflection, and that's where change begins. Change begins with reflection. So today's topic is Happy Father's Day. And I believe Father's Day, I don't even know what day Father's Day is, because like I said, every day is, Father's Day, every day is Mother's Day, every day is a birthday, every day is Christmas, and it doesn't take a day to define love and when you should show some kind of compassion or good vibe. So my view of Father's Day is I'm thankful. Not me as a father, I'm going to talk about my son. Because any father on Father's Day, the pride should be within the child, the children. I don't have boys. I only have one boy, one son. I'm so proud of my son. And to be able to achieve what many parents don't have an opportunity to achieve. I had to do it on my own, and me and the mother, we weren't together. But one thing that I did not give up on, one thing that I did not stop, and still to the day, is bonding and being a part of my son's life, being there, mentally, spiritually, and physically for my child. And just to view the accomplishments that my son has made, to be able to show him a different way in which he's able to grow, which he's able to become a man. And if one door is closed for my son, another door will open, because there's not a house that my son cannot build. There is not plumbing that my son cannot do. There is not a car that my son can't fix. There is not machinery that my son can't fix. There's not a computer that you can't put my son in front of and he can navigate his way through. So it was my responsibility as a man to be able to show different avenues and different ways of learning different trades through life in order for him to become the man that he is today, whether I get credit or not. So that's my achievement, and that's what brings me the greatest joy. The greatest joy is not to be a father. The greatest joy is to be able to look out and to see, your son, your offspring, that, he stands as a man, not a man of color, but a man. Have a good day, ladies. All right, and you got that smile too. Oh my goodness. You made my day. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, ladies. All right. So these are, exactly what you just experienced. To get away from the conversation of my son, but it has everything to do with them. One thing that I've instilled in my children, and I hope that, that continues even long after I'm gone, is that every day is a new day. Every day is a new day, and every day there's a different outcome. So with that, the accomplishments, they're just, I want to speak on one of the factors that says, hey, Dennis, you've done a good job, because a while back a family member had made a comment, said stop living through your son. And this is why I want to talk about this Father's Day. Every parent, good morning, sir. All right, and have a good day. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, yes, thank you very much, sir. So a while back he had made the comment about, living through your children. And every parent should live through their children. And there's a proper way, and this is what's being discussed today, and this is my dedication. And this video is in memory of Robert Lee Crosby, my father. So the proper way to live through your child is to watch your child excel. And when I went to go back to what I made that short comment about my son transcends color, my son transcends color, not because of the fact that he has two different races within him, but the blackness that he has. He understands his true history, and that was my obligation as a parent, because what is being taught and what was being taught in school only gives you half of your history. What makes you a man is to know where they got that history from, not just in one subject, but in all subjects. And that opens up the world to let you know what it is that you're up against. And that's the greatest battle. Because one thing that I refuse to do is to pass on a slave mentality to my son, to make him feel as if he was less than. So it's the same as me. You can put me in the room with anyone from any profession, and we can have a discussion. And they will walk out that room and say, wow, he's different. No, I'm not different. My son is different. Because each time, each generation makes it right. Each generation enlightens the next generation as to the direction in life that they go. It's something that we don't do as parents. We wake up and, you know, I'm only speaking on my race, black race, but it's something that, you know, we don't do. We just, you know, allow the school systems to teach, and that's that and that's it. And then when they get out of school, they face discrimination, they face everything that comes along with it. So by knowing who you are, where you come from, you can stand, because your roots are finally firmly planted into the ground. And take a father who the son, and you know that the son, you know, he's hanging out with the young crowd, and then the father wants to be a part of this young crowd and dresses up young and dresses up their age. That's not living. That's the wrong way to live through your child. The right way to live through your child is by the foundations that you lay. And I have to be very, very thankful, because good morning, miss. Good morning. All right. And I have to be very, very thankful that, you know, that my son accepts, you know, the things that I teach, that he trusts the things that I'm saying. And these things don't happen unless you are an example of what it is that you're speaking. And I'm proud in that. But I can't take that credit for that. You know, I have to look at what my father left to me, you know, because my father laid down the groundwork for me to understand where I was coming from. When even through religion was only being one part of truth that was being taught, where there was a whole nother history behind where these things came from. So, you know, it's not to say that you have to go outside, but you cannot live inside of a box either. And by giving a child all the tools, then that child can use what tools to make his path in life the right path for him. And I'm happy as a father. You know, I am so happy, Dennis Crosby Jr., I am so happy to be your father. I'm so happy that you represent us, our line, as a man, and to carry on that name, because I know that you're in the process and you will do great things. And as well as your children, they will do great things because they have a leader in you. And for me to begin that leadership, it makes me feel proud as a man, because my life is no longer about me. My life is about my children. My life is about my son. And that's just the way that I live. I live that way, and things that I've learned, I share. And as my son can attest, is whatever I have, he has. So he understands that concept, that it doesn't take happy birthday, it doesn't take Merry Christmas, it doesn't take all that. If I have it, you have it. And if I gain a lot, I'm coming to you, my children, first, which I've always done. So, you know, in that sense, I am so proud. And, you know, I'm thankful to Robert Lee Crosby for, you know, for turning his life around. And, you know, that's where my father, you know, made the change in order to become a better man. you know, and that was one of the greatest achievements that I had ever experienced in my life. And if I saw, when I saw my father make his transformation, it allowed me to make transformations in my life. And now my son is making transformations into his life. So to me, there is no Father's Day, so I have to be thankful to Robert Lee Crosby for the lessons that he taught. I'm proud of, and I have to thank my son, Dennis Jr., you know, for being for taking and accepting, you know, the things that I've been able to, you know, instill. And we still do these things to today because I learned from him as well. But for everyone that's out there, you know, hopefully you get a better view of who I am as a person and how I view Father's Day and all these different things, that none of these things matter. You know, what matters is what the time that's invested, that we invest in our children, because education is more important than anything else in the world. But in order to educate yourself, you have to fully educate yourself. That means knowing your history, knowing where you came from, knowing the things that transpired in order to bring us to where we are today. So for me to be able to pass those things on to my son, that transcends color, it transcends everything. It now makes him a man, in which his children will become men. So they will not be looked at as color first, because when they open up their mouth, that intelligence far transcends color, something that I do as well. You know, so I'm just happy for the intelligence that my father, you know, instilled upon me to make me into the man that I am. Because when I have conversations with people, I made a video where they said, you know, you're different. I said, no, I'm no different. I'm just educated. So, you know, thank you all very much. And no matter what race, no matter what color you are, this is not about color, it's not about race, because every race does that same thing with their children. The only difference is if a person, a black person, says the same thing, then there's something wrong with it. And what I'm saying to the men out there who are of color, you know, that it's up to us, you know, to break that mental bond that stops us from looking outside of a book, looking outside of a history that we're being taught. And, you know, open up our minds to know that, you know, through these things of the past is how we change the future. And that's my greatest achievement as a father. So thank you all very much. And you guys have the most beautiful day, because it's a beautiful day here. And lastly, you saw me saying good morning. Not something I do. The only reason that, you know, you're hearing it now is because usually I come off of the path. But because of a recommendation from my son, who said, you know, try to get another different scenery, show some different parts of where you are. So I'm closer to the trail, because the trail goes along the water. And that's where you saw, you know, you heard different people saying good morning. And that's something that I do every morning. It's something that I made a choice in my life, that every morning that I would get up, no matter how I'm feeling, I would greet as many people as possible. I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I'm not gonna stop. I will do it for the rest of my life, because every day is a good day. Every morning is a good morning. You know, it's people. So as long as we reach out, you know, we always wish people the best, then people will never feel left out. And hopefully this will be something that, you know, everyone else can carry on as well. And with that, everyone, have the most beautiful day humanly possible. Peace and blessings.